I think it's important to understand if you move off of fear in life, you will just create more situations where you're going to be in even more fear. And I think that's important to understand when it comes to needing people for a space and time. Allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to be in a space of receiving, and allow yourself to be in a space of understanding and genuinely getting down to the root and the bottom of why you keep ending up in a situation that you're in where you continuously need somebody, whether that be financially, whether that be for love, whether that be for validation, or whatever the case may be. I think it's important to understand at the core level how to change in order to genuinely show up for yourself, in order to genuinely not need another person again. You know what I mean? And I think that's important to understand. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be in a space, because sometimes in life you're going to need someone to be there for you. But I think it's important to understand that yes, you need to be open to give and receive, but also when you fall down, you have to come from a space of not fear, but understanding on how to move forward. And you can't truly understand and move forward with conviction, or move forward with an understanding that you're on the right path, if you don't understand yourself, or if you don't have a connection with yourself, or with source, or with God, or with the universe, or with whatever you believe in. If you just move off of what's in front of you, if you just move off of sight, if you just move off of fear, if you just move off of the fear of others and what others are trying to place within you, then you will end up back where you started. You will end up needing people again for their finances, needing people again for their love, their validation, or whatever the case may be. And I think it's important, in order to break cycles, in order to break patterns, you have to understand yourself, and you have to get down to the root of the issue. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to be still, because sometimes when things are crumbling in your life, they're crumbling because you're moving too much. They're crumbling because you're not listening to your inner guidance. They're crumbling because you're not understanding the true message. You're not understanding your true purpose. You're not understanding your true calling. You're not listening to your inner compass. You're not listening to God. You're not listening to the universe, or whatever you believe in order to really step out and truly step in a sense of authenticity and true purpose. And I think that's important to understand. When you keep trying and you keep failing, sometimes you have to sit down in order to understand in order to understand how to really step out and step into your power, or step into your purpose. And I think that's important to understand when you are in a space where you need people and you're trying to not need them, or you're trying to pay them back, or whatever the case may be. It's important to learn yourself and understand yourself, so that way you won't continuously keep needing them, and continuously being a person that is dependent and needing other people to shine, or needing other people to be your true self. I think that's important to understand when it comes to being in a space where you're set down and needing other people in order to survive, or in order to whatever the case may be. Like I said, whether that be financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever the case may be. I think it's important to understand that in order to move forward in a space where you are dependable and independent, you have to understand yourself, and you have to understand your next moves, and not move with anxiety or move out of fear. Because when you move off of anxiety and you move off of fear, you end up being set back down. And I think that's important to understand when you're trying to move differently, or you're trying to create a life for yourself that that you can really depend on yourself, or you can really be an independent individual and stay an independent individual. So I think that's important to understand.